1 hour later. One hour later. One eternity later.
All right, y'all, welcome back. Welcome to the end. First of all, to say something is wrong with this beer is an understatement. Let me taste it first, and then I'm going to explain what led up to this. First of all, this is supposed to be a Kölsch. And I'll explain this, but obviously it's not clear. Okay, and it's been sitting for like 3 weeks, and it's had gelatin put into it. So, yeah. I do see carbonation. For a second, I thought it didn't carbonate. There was a little head when I poured it, but as you can see, nothing. It's just nothing. It smells a little sulfury, not gonna lie. Not terrible, but yeah, sulfury, a little bit of wheat. Let me taste it. Let me get this over with. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, no. That is terrible, terrible, terrible. All right. I don't know what I was thinking. I know what I was thinking. I'm not sure why I redid my recipe. I have a recipe for a Kolsch that I made a long time ago. That's good. This is terrible. This is so terrible. All right. There's lots of reasons it could be terrible, and it may not even be the recipe. Let me first give you the numbers. Original gravity was 1050, which is what I was kind of aiming for. Final gravity at 1015. I was expecting 1010, so it did finish a little higher than expected. Not a ton, but a little bit. So ended up being about 4.9% ABV. All right. So first thing is that I have white wheat in this, and I probably was thinking that it would give me good head retention. It did not, but that might be what I was thinking. I'm not sure. I mean, it has just, 2-row, a little bit of Munich, like I said, the white wheat, and some Carahell. I would definitely go back to my old recipe anyway the next time I make another Kolsch. I'm not doing it like this. This is terrible. Hops, Hallertauer Mittelfrueh for the bittering, and I did dry hop it with Saaz hops. That's it. I did do my own water chemistry, and I gotta be honest, I'm really, really close to just scrapping the water chemistry. I've had really good luck for the past almost 30 years making beer with just store-bought spring water. Soon as I switched to trying to do my own water chemistry using Brewfather, my beer just seems to have, it's just not good. It's gotten significantly bad. We'll see, because the next beer also I did a water chemistry on it. But I'm just, I'm not happy. I don't know if that's the cause, but I think if my next beer ends up tasting kind of weird, I'm definitely not going to do water chemistry anymore. I'm just going to stick with what I've been doing, which is, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Anyway, I used Weyermann Kolsch yeast. So I did use a Kolsch yeast. Here's what happened, though. I went to get a reading to check the ABV off the keg. I let it cold crash. I put the gelatin, and I waited a week. Went to take a reading, and there was no beer coming out of the tap at all. And so I was like, what's going on? I checked. I definitely had CO2 in the tank. And I could tell that there was pressure. It's an all-rounder, so you can kind of push on it. It's plastic. You can tell if it's got like solid pressure coming in it, and it did. So there was pressure, it just wasn't pouring. So it led me to believe that either the connector or most likely the floating dip tube was that's a good one. Floating dip tube was having a problem. So I had to release all the gas out of it and open the keg, pull out the dip tube. It did feel very loose where it connects. So I put a different floating dip tube on it, and it did seem to fit a little bit tighter, and tightened it all back up. By the time I did this, it was kind of shaking the beer up, and I was frustrated. Put it back in the fridge, and then I just didn't touch it. I was just so frustrated. I didn't touch this for several weeks, and then I went to pour it today, and it did pour, but it was very lackluster. I feel like it wasn't pouring with much force like it would normally do, but at least it's pouring. And then, I don't know if it's oxidized. It could be, but it's just a whole bunch of potential things that could all have led to causing this. So it may not be the recipe, but it might be. It may be oxidized. It may not be. And it could be the water chemistry, or it might not be. But either way, something has led to a beer that is not good. It's like cidery and doesn't taste. It's just not good. It's not good at all. So, yeah, this happens. That's why I post these videos, whether they're good or not, because I want to show that sometimes you make a beer and it just doesn't turn out good. Here's the silver lining. I have another beer already, that's been fermenting, and I will be moving that. I'll be getting this one off. Well, since it's not good, I may just dump it today, but the plan was to do it next week and clean the kegerator, and then move the beer that's coming up onto the keg next week and let it carbonate for a week. So hopefully that one is not bad because of the water profile. If it is, like I say, I'm just going back to spring water. It's worked well for me for many, many, many years. I led myself down the wrong road by allowing people to tell me that using water chemistry will take your beer to another level. Yeah, if it's this level, I don't want it. So anyway, we'll see about the next beer, and I'll have that published soon. And until then, keep on brewing. I would say cheers, but